Hey guys, Justin here. Everyone loves a deal, and I'm going to give you my top picks for gear from a company that has changed the game when it comes to budget gear. And that company is Decathlon. Decathlon is one of the biggest sporting good retailers in the world and just started expanding into North America last year. And based on some of the recommendations from you guys and from some extensive searching in their stores and online, I found 9 pieces of gear that I think are some of the best deals that they have. I've been using all this gear for months now and I've had great experiences with it. It's also all made it through a couple washing machine cycles and came out just fine. There is an elephant in the room with regards to Decathlon's prices, and I'm going to address that along with my Decathlon customer service experiences at the end of the video. I also just want to mention that this video isn't sponsored in any way by Decathlon. I just got a lot of requests from you guys to do another budget gear video, and I just think that they have some great deals and want to share that with you. All right, so first up, we have this foam mat. So this is a $10 foam mat, has an R value of 1.2, weighs 7.4 ounces, is 20 inches wide and 71 inches long. And I think this is a great pad to use in the wintertime. You can throw it underneath your air mattress and add a little bit of R value to it, as well as using it if you're in the desert and are afraid of pokey things getting through and poking a hole into your air pad. So great little pad, really cheap, and is nice and thin and light, so easy to take with you on any trips. Next up, we have the infamous Trek 100 down jacket. I'm wearing this size extra large right here for winter layering. This thing costs $80 and weighs just over 10 ounces. It's a really warm jacket, compares really well to a lot of other jackets that may cost 2 or 3 times as much, and is great for backpacking, hiking, and I'll even just use it around town. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite down jackets that I've ever tried. So definitely check this one out. I've done a couple reviews on it. I'll post links to those in the video description down below. Next up, I want to talk about fleece. Fleece is something that you can usually get some great deals on. It's not a super complicated fabric and it's pretty easy to make. First up, I have these $3, yeah, $3 for some fleece gloves. And these will never be your go-to kind of fleece gloves, but they're great liners and are super ultralight. I'll just throw them in my pack, throw them into my work pack or hiking pack, and they're great just to kind of have. They're super light and really warm. So for $3, I picked up a few pairs of these and just have them all over the place. Great little set of gloves. Next up is the fleece that I have underneath the down jacket, and things are gonna get a little risky here, so bear with me, but I have here the MH120 fleece, and this is just your standard fleece full zip, has a couple pockets right here. I'm wearing the size large, and this costs $20, so really affordable fleece. This thing's quite warm. I usually only bring it for car camping or if I'm going on a resort ski day, and I'll sometimes bring it with me for winter trips if I know it's gonna be really cold and I'm gonna need a nice thick layer. This thing's quite toasty and a little bit heavier than I'd like to bring on most backpacking trips. And then underneath this fleece, I have another fleece, the MH500 grid fleece. This grid fleece is super breathable, really lightweight, and I love it for active activities. Like if I'm going snowshoeing or hiking or cross-country skiing, I like to throw on this quarter zip here. The quarter zip is nice just to dump a little bit of heat, and you'll be able to regulate your temperature really well on the trail. The next thing I want to talk about is merino wool. Merino wool can be super expensive, but Decathlon somehow has managed to make merino wool products that are about half the cost of other brands like Minus 33 or Smart Wool. And first up is this hat. This is a merino wool beanie, costs $15 and is super comfortable. One of the best things about merino wool is that it's not itchy, and you'll find some knockoffs on Amazon where they say it's merino wool, but it's really not merino wool, and those hats are super itchy, whereas this hat right here is not itchy at all and is really comfortable. I use it when I'm going on trips, and I'll wear it at night when sleeping or if it starts getting a little chilly at night. So really nice merino wool hat here. Decathlon has a ton of merino wool, so I have 2 items here that I really think are great, but they have a lot of other merino wool products, and I have family who have been using some of their long johns and long sleeve shirts, and they say that those are great as well. The other merino wool product that I have is this t-shirt base layer that I have on. And this is a great t-shirt for any sort of activity, really. I wear it as a base layer when sleeping, as well as a base layer for going backcountry skiing or snowshoeing or anything. Decathlon kind of really nailed it. I was surprised at how high of quality the merino wool products were. This thing has been through the wash a whole bunch of times. I wash it quite often and it hasn't shown any wear and is still holding up really well. They've also just paid attention to some of the details. You wouldn't expect that from a budget brand, but even things like perforations and a little bit more breathability in the armpit here is a really nice feature that they've put into this product, and that's awesome. It's pretty warm out, so I'm just gonna leave my t-shirt on here. I'm actually starting to sweat even out here in the t-shirt. But next up, I have a couple more pieces of hand gear. First up being these soft shell gloves that only cost $13 and are really nice. So these are really breathable, pretty warm, but one of the big features that they have is touch capability. So you can use the thumb and forefinger to play around with your phone and not freeze your fingers off when you want to take a picture or send a message to somebody. And they're really nice and have held up really well for me. I actually go through gloves quite quickly because I use them pretty aggressively for multiple activities like backcountry skiing, hiking, snowshoeing, and just all the time whenever I'm going outdoors. So I go through them really quickly and these have held up really well. The only thing that I wish they had was a little bit more padding on the palm. I wish this extended down because when I'm using trekking poles, I sometimes get a little bit of bunching right in there. So if this came down right into there, then that wouldn't be a problem and they'd be just that much more comfortable. But either way, I find these gloves great and use them quite a bit, and they're super affordable. So I got 3 pairs of them. If I know it's gonna be windy or rainy or just really cold, I'll also bring along these Trek 500 over gloves. They're really mitts, but they call them over gloves for some reason. But these are waterproof, taped seams, and they're also windproof. So I'll throw them over my gloves and they'll just add that protection from the weather as well as a little bit of warmth. And these things are only $20 and weigh 40 grams, so super ultralight. I throw these in my pack all the time. They just scrunch up really nicely and come with me on backpacking trips. They are in my bag that I use to commute to work. They're just really awesome little gloves and quite affordable. So another great buy. And that's the final item number 9. If you have a favorite Decathlon item, let me know in the comments below. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface with some of the sweet deals that could be had from them. Something I also want to mention, and it came up a bunch in my other reviews of the down jacket, is customer service. I think it's super important for companies to stand behind their products, and I will often choose gear that may cost more money if I know that the warranty is going to be good. And a lot of you have asked about Decathlon's warranty, and I have to say that it's great. It's a 1-year, no questions asked warranty, and I've actually used this firsthand. I caught my down jacket on a pokey thing and pulled a thread, and when I took it into the store, they exchanged it on the spot without blinking an eye, no questions asked. And most products that they have also have a longer warranty period that covers manufacturing defects and the like. The great warranty, in my experience with it, definitely makes it a little bit easier for me to recommend Decathlon products because, like I said, it's important that companies stand behind their products. And now to address the elephant in the room. When I posted this video, Decathlon had just bumped up their prices on a bunch of gear in the US, and you guys noticed this, and I received a lot of messages and comments about it. So I reached out to Decathlon and wanted to see what was up because the prices hadn't increased in Canada or anywhere else that I looked at. And what they told me was that the main reason is that tariffs that have been implemented on goods coming from China to the US are the reason why we've seen this price bump. I had troubles believing them. I have troubles believing any company at their word, especially when it comes to something like price increases. So I took a look at the tariffs that have been implemented, and they do line up with the pieces of gear that I specifically looked at and saw price increases for. So I'm not sure if the bump in prices line up exactly with what the tariffs costs are, but it makes sense that some of those costs would need to be passed on to the consumer for Decathlon to maintain a profit margin, and they probably have lower profit margins than some other companies. Decathlon did seem genuine when they told me that they would like to keep prices low and that they hope that down the road they can lower the prices back to what they were. And all the gear I talked about today and discussed, even under the new prices, is still great deals in my books, and I still stand behind my recommendations for it. After our chat, Decathlon was kind enough to provide me with a discount code that I can share with you guys that provides 10% off Decathlon.com and the US store. So sorry folks in the rest of the world, but to be fair, prices haven't gone up for us, and the US could use a little bit of a discount because the down jacket went up 23%. And that discount code is Justin Outdoors, easy to remember, and I'll post it in the video description so you can just copy and paste it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and remember, you only catch minnows when fishing in the shallows.